In the heart of Israel, protests against Benjamin Netanyahu are gaining momentum. Known as BBE, Netanyahu's 16-year reign is facing severe criticism from the public. Mikel Guzef, a Canadian Israeli, expresses shame and concern about Netanyahu's dehumanizing policies. Outside the Israeli parliament, a small but loud crowd accuses Netanyahu of having blood on his hands, labeling him a liar and a danger to the state. On the other side, a lone individual defends Netanyahu, suggesting extreme measures like the forcible displacement of Palestinians from Gaza. Under Netanyahu, extreme rhetoric has become normalized, with calls for the removal of Palestinians gaining traction. Some even see Netanyahu as a messiah, believing he alone can save Israel. This shift in political discourse is alarming, leading to alliances with far-right parties and calls for extreme measures like nuclear strikes on Gaza. Netanyahu's leadership is further marred by corruption charges, triggering mass protests. His plans to overhaul the judicial system raise concerns about the concentration of power. Despite scandals, Netanyahu maneuvers politically, forming alliances with nationalist parties that openly express anti-Arab sentiments. In the midst of this political turmoil, we hear the tragic story of Yael Alon, who lost her father in the 1973 war and her son in the recent conflict. Holding the government responsible for her son's death, she calls for their resignation, adding a personal dimension to the national unrest. As Israel grapples with internal strife, the world watches closely. The protests, extreme rhetoric, and legal battles against Netanyahu create a complex tapestry of challenges. This is Danielle Hammam reporting from Jerusalem on A Nation at a Crossroads.